So welcome everybody. I'm Tom Evans, one of 30 meditation teachers who are collaborating and co-creating in a summit, which is on the 7th and 8th of January 2023, called Stepping into Possibilities. Collectively, we're known as the Conscious Creative Collective, which is a fine and grand name. And speaking with some of my fellow guides later on, but just to start with, perhaps I could chat to you, Wen Lin Tan. I think you were the progenitor and the person who had the idea to come up with this in the first place.
Thanks for the invitation, Tom. And I'm so excited and thrilled to be here with all these other great teachers. The idea just came because I thought I've been part of various different collectives, and I always felt that together we are so much more. We are greater than the sum of our parts. And as part of the group of teachers on Insight Timer that had already done workshops from before, I thought we had something in common, and also we have separate different strengths. And so I suggested to the collective that we come together. And Kezia is one of the other mentors within the group who has really supported us to bring this together, this summit together. I think I really, all of us really owe it a lot to her.
And from the perspective of somebody that might join us for the summit, what do you think the biggest takeaway will be for them?
I think, well, for someone who joins the summit, one of the biggest strengths is that it will be able to sample from one of the best teachers from all across of Insight Timer and beyond. And also just the fact that each of us have different things to offer. Many of us are meditation teachers, but we also have writing, we have coaching, we have Qigong, we have Reiki, we have such different and diverse as well as rich disciplines. And each one of us has been teaching in these disciplines, many of us for more than a decade, maybe even 2 or 3 decades. So this richness of experience, and at the same time being able to sample all of this and have access to this for quite a long time, that's really valuable, I think.
Now, it's important to say that it starts off, I'm from the UK, so it starts off 11 a.m. GMT on the Saturday, and then runs, I'm just scanning through, right till is it 8 p.m. the following day, I think. I know 1 a.m. GMT. So obviously we're not expecting people to be awake for all of this time, but you can access recordings and dip in and out as you see fit. And the other thing which I'm really intrigued by is the dual pricing. Could you just explain what that's all about?
Oh, well, maybe, yeah, go ahead, Kezia.
Hi. So we have a sliding scale on the pricing. We've actually got 3 prices. So our standard recommended ticket is £66. Because we're hosting through the UK, that's in pounds. I think that is currently about 75-80 US dollars, but obviously please check before you commit. And that is an amount which covers our costs and allows us to come and teach to you. And it was really, really important that that this was accessible. So, you know, I don't know of anywhere else where you get 30 workshops from 30 teachers for £66. And we know that different people have different means. Some people might want to show appreciation, give a tip to us teachers. So we have another tier which is £99, and that just enables us to be really valued for our work, for what we're bringing to you. And some people are really struggling financially at the moment. I think that's true around the world. And so we do also have a scholarship tier, which is £33, and that is accessible with a code from the website. And we don't have any means testing or anything like that. We're trusting people to honestly choose the tier that's most appropriate to them. And in my experience, people are generally honest and, you know, are happy to appreciate us as teachers where they can, and also people who wouldn't otherwise be able to access the summit. That's who the scholarship tier is aimed at. It's really important that they get access to it as well.
Fantastic. And by way of example, because while I'm chatting to you, just could you mention the theme for your hour?
Yeah, so I am a tarot reader and teacher, and so I will be doing a tarot reading for 2023. So I do regular tarot readings, live tarot readings with recordings available, and these are quite popular. They're community tarot readings most Mondays, and it's like for the week ahead. And people find that although they are community tarot readings are for the collective, individuals find that they resonate very much with them as well. So my workshop will be a tarot reading for the year ahead for 2023 and some preparation for the year ahead. In the tarot, for anyone who knows the tarot, the numbers of the year 2023 add up to the number 7, and the major arcana card number 7 is the Chariot, which is all about action and direction and calibration and triumph and movement. And the other major arcana card, whose digits add up to 7, is number 16, the Tower, which is all about breaking down things which have had their time. So it can be old patterns, old institutions, whatever it is. And so these are the two sort of major arcana cards that are going to be around with us for 2023. So we'll have a little bit of a look at resourcing how we can work with those energies rather than against them in 2023. And then I'm adding a PDF spread for people to take away to do their own reading, to discover 2023 for them more personally. So that's what I'm offering at the summit.
Fantastic. And I can see that your session is 3 p.m. GMT on the Sunday, the 8th. Nicely followed, actually, with a nice segue by Wen Lin's session on welcoming effortless ease. Wen Lin, would you like to just explain what that's all about and why those things are two juxtaposed? You know, like it can't be a coincidence that we got tarot and the power of the Chariot and the Tower followed by welcoming ease.
Thanks for that question, Tom. I think Kezia mentioned it very nicely. She said in her workshop, she says like she'll work with how we can flow with the energies rather than resist them and really use them to enhance. And this is the same idea about what I'll explore in the concept and in the workshop of Wu Wei, where we'll look at how to cultivate effortless ease. In both the practice of Qigong, I'm actually a mindfulness and embodied movement teacher and educator. I've been teaching for over 7 to 8 years now and practicing for over 2 decades. And in the workshop, we'll actually practice kind of moving meditation that's called Qigong. For those of you tuning in, if you are new to it, it is very similar to yoga in the sense that it has deep philosophy rooted in it, and it is very focused on intentionality. And through this practice of Qigong, we will also look at reflecting on the principles of Wu Wei that I'll be sharing, the 3 main ingredients that can help you cultivate effortless action. So you actually work with what's going on in your life rather than resisting or spending unnecessary effort and struggling against the situations, the people and the factors that are unfolding. And towards the end of the workshop, we'll discuss how these things can actually be used in a more tangible way, and certain exercises you might use to do them in real life. And there'll also be a PDF at the end that the viewers can take away so that they have something that they can revise on their own and put to practice on a daily basis.
And that's great. There's so many takeaways at the end of this, isn't there? It's not just, you know, one you're meeting these 30 teachers, and you can find all of us on the Insight Timer app as well, where we've all got loads of free materials and what have you. So it's a great way of meeting some people that might be able to help you in other ways. And I just love the way that some of these things line up, because can I come to you, Femke Macker, now about your session, which is a very intriguing title of A Year of Self-Gentleness, which kind of flows on, I think, from Wen Lin's practice.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. Thanks for having us here to speak about the summit. Yeah, so last year I coined the concept of self-gentleness, and that is because I realized that at the core of everything that I teach at Insight Timer, but I think also I'm also a teacher and researcher at the university. I'm a behavioral scientist, that everything boils down if it's about personal change, if it is about social change, is how people treat themselves. There starts a lot there. So when you look at self-help books, and there's a lot of talk about self-love, but the problem with self-love is that it sounds like a really big task. I mean, to love yourself. Well, maybe on a superficial basis, you think you love yourself, but when you take a look at if you're really loving yourself, it's hard. Next to that, just the word love has so many connotations for so many people. And then I thought, so what would be an easy way to be gentle to yourself? And then I thought, well, that's self-gentleness. Because for everyone, it seems like a feasible thing to just be gentle to yourself from time to time. That's not so hard. And then I come with my definition, which is radically accepting yourself as the most important person to consistently deserve your own gentleness, which means that you have to be consistent, which means that when you mess up, when you fall, when you make a mistake, when you feel guilty, when you do something that normally you would be really critical about yourself, that also then in the face of that, you will be gentle to yourself. That's in itself a challenge. And then the radical is about interacting with others, that when others are demanding things of you or expecting things from you, or you think that they are expecting things from you, which is way more often the case than the other way around, that also then you will be taking care of yourself first, to understand that being gentle to yourself is a priority. And that's also a big challenge for a lot of people. So I thought, what's better to start of a new year than to set the intention together to start a year of self-gentleness. And that's a lifelong work in progress process, basically. Because it takes some understanding of what it is. It takes some understanding of yourself. So what we're going to do is to set the intention together, and I will offer some practices that you can start to do on a consistent basis, so that those moments of self-gentleness might start with just 1 second a day and can progress into, in the end, hopefully, a year of self-gentleness. So, and at the end, I will also have a PDF with a checklist of 19 different daily practices that you could start, just the ones that resonate with you. And of course, the practices that you can take with you to start doing them.
Well, what a great way to start 2023, setting self-gentleness as a priority. And I see your session is 7 p.m. GMT to 2 p.m. EST and 11 a.m. PST, which is going to be fantastic. So let me just thank you so much for that, Femke. That's very interesting.
Thanks.
Let me move on to Julie Murphy, Yogaressa. I love that title. And Julie, you're going to share with us Yoga Nidra to align with intention, which is a fascinating combination of two seemingly disparate things, really.
I'm glad that you see them as disparate, Tom. Thank you for having us, by the way. I'm very excited about the summit. The Yoga Nidra is known as the yogic sleep, and in the years that I've been teaching it and doing recorded meditations and workshops and things, it's funny how I'll put all this work into creating Yoga Nidra intention, and then people fall asleep within 2 or 3 minutes, which is not a bad thing. So we kind of think of Yoga Nidra as, a lot of us will think of Yoga Nidra as a relaxing way to prepare for sleep, or to even lead you into sleep in the middle of the meditation. There's nothing wrong with that. And yet there's so many layers to it, and it's kind of picking up again from what Femke's just said about intention. When we get to the heart of Yoga Nidra, it's about using intention to steer our lives forward. So we put the body into a place of deep and restful sleep, but the mind stays gently, quietly aware and awake. And in that state, you're able to receive more insight about how and why you live in the way you do. So why do we react in certain ways? And we observe our feelings and emotions and thoughts in this quiet space of that liminal space in between being awake and asleep. And then the beauty happens a lot of the time after the meditation. So the regular practice, we're then able to use our intention to steer the way we want to live on a daily basis outside of meditation. So that was kind of a long answer.
Well, not long. And I guess what your intention then, what the intention in January 2023 is kind of where you're going to steer yourself throughout the whole year, I guess, isn't it? It starts with intention.
It is. And so for those of us who set a New Year's intention, a New Year's resolution, and then it's gone by January the 18th, what's wonderful about intention with Yoga Nidra and a lot of these practices, it complements a lot of other practices, is that it sets aside the small goals that seem like big goals, but they're more like time-bound specific achievements. And it steers us more towards really connecting to the heart space and an overarching belief and intention for how we want to live our lives. And so it's softer than a New Year's resolution. It's more forgiving. It evolves with you, so you can take that intention with you daily and throughout the rest of the year. So in our workshop, we'll be experiencing Yoga Nidra, understanding a little bit more about it, and really setting intention for the year ahead, but with the gentleness that understands that intentions move and get affected and shift and change by, in reaction to what happens around us. And then I'll be sharing a PDF to help us continue to connect with intention and to use it more as almost like on a ship. Use it like a rudder to steer and guide, rather than cracking the whip to get things done, if that makes sense. So I'm looking forward to it.
And your session's 5 p.m. GMT, 12 p.m.
That's right.
9. So everyone should be awake for most of that. You wouldn't be putting too many people to sleep. Just to give people a flavour of how this all rocks. And you're a couple of hours before Femke. Sandwiched in between you is Halo Quinn, who's not with us today, who's going to be talking about the divine erotic pleasure as our guide to presence. So there's definitely a connection between those three subjects, I would imagine, and the rest of the subjects as well.
Yeah.
So let me come to you, Ipek Williamson. You're on at 10 p.m. GMT, so that's about 3 hours after Femke, 5 hours after Julie, and being bravely and authentically you in 2023. What a lovely, evocative session that will be.
Thank you, Tom. First of all, for having us on your show, and also before getting to my workshop, I want to say that listening to other teachers, I get so excited because I can't wait myself to experience all these amazing workshops and use the PDFs, documents. It's so wonderful. Thank you all for showing up for all our followers, that many people who will benefit from this amazing summit. So yes, my workshop is gonna be about just stepping into our power in 2023. In social media or anywhere, among my followers, I see so many people give their life's control to other people's hands. And I want them to reclaim the power into being who they want to be, who they are in deep inside, and bring it to the surface in the new year. I want to ask them, who are you being right now? And who you want to become? And how can you get there? So I want them to explore that with me through that workshop. We're going to be looking at transformation from several angles during the workshop, such as expression, compassion, forgiveness, gratitude, happiness, reflection, and most importantly, love. So it's going to be an exercise that will help them to create an image of their new self in 2023 and beyond. And also, I will be providing a workbook that they will use the following 6 days. They can use it beforehand or afterwards, or both. Actually, I suggest if they start using it at the beginning before the workshop, they can also redo it afterwards, so that they can see the difference, they can see the shift after they go through our summit and really transform themselves. And I see that everybody before me who spoke said that they are going to be providing a PDF document, something that everybody could benefit from even after the summit. So that's a very exciting part of our summit too. Not only everybody will have access to the recordings for a year, but they will also have lots and lots of resources to work on, to use throughout the year. So thank you all.
Wow, I think people are going to need the whole year to process everything they're going to receive in these 2 days. So talking of which, can I come to you, Amy Brown? And your subject's kind of interesting, and I guess it could relate to a lot of things that might happen over the Christmas period. Navigating relationship breakups with mindfulness and respect. Now that's a deep and meaty subject if ever there was one.
Yes, that is, it's the area that I specialize in, as well as being a meditation and mindfulness teacher. And it can be about a relationship breakup that happened recently, or one that was a long time ago that is still, that people are still grieving. And my goal is to help people navigate through relationship breakups with mindfulness, with respect, with compassion, with grace, ultimately to encourage healing. And relationship breakups can be a really challenging time. So I feel like it's really important for people to know that they don't have to manage it alone. And in this relationship breakup workshop, I'll offer mindfulness tools to help guide people in this chapter of their life, and participants will receive one-on-one support from me, and then also the opportunity to connect with other participants who may be going through a similar experience, which can be really, really lovely and really encourage healing.
Wow, and it sounds like there's going to be a lot of kindness and gentleness in that session as well.
Yeah, a lot of compassion, self-compassion, compassion for others, and yeah, it's I'm really looking forward to it. I hope it'll be a really beautiful experience for everyone.
And is it all relationships or romantic relationships specifically?
Everything that we're doing, because it's all mindfulness tools, could apply to any type of relationship. I tend to specialize in intimate or romantic relationships, but to your point, the tools can be applied across the board. They, any type of grieving relationship, any type of, any type of important relationship to you, significant relationship.
Wow. And any takeaways that people will get from the session?
Yes, we will be giving a roadmap for how to navigate, sort of step by step, to navigate through the breakup, the grieving, and the healing process, so that hopefully the tools will be able to offer guidance again for the whole year through.
Wow, that's amazing. And your session, I see, is let me have a look, it's 8 p.m. on the Sunday. That's 8 p.m. GMT,
Yes.
3 p.m. EST, and 12 p.m.
Thank you, Tom.
We also got a video previously recorded by Deborah Ford, which I'd like just to play in just now. And Deborah's session is, she's doing the last session on the Saturday, 1 a.m. GMT, which is only 8 p.m. EST and 5 p.m. PST, on writing intentions using the natural energy of Tao. Amazing. That's I might not be up for that. I might be watching the replay of that one. So over to you, Deborah.
Hi, Tom. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Yeah, Dr. Deborah here. I'm so happy to share this course with you and with our students. And I've called it Writing Intentions Using the Natural Energy of the Tao. You know, all of my work is based on the Tao. And the reason I love it so much is that it's about tapping in to the natural energies on the planet. So that we tap into fire, we tap into water, we tap into mountain energy, heaven energy, earth energy, all of them. And they have this beautiful light expansion that can become part of our life. And so that I believe that writing intentions for next year using this natural energy, you know, it's always been on our planet. It's always been here. It always will be here. It's kind of everlasting. And so we're able to do this. The other thing I really love about the Tao is that it doesn't challenge any of our beliefs, so that we might have religious or spiritual beliefs that we already hold that are really dear to us. And the Tao just fits beautifully into any belief system that we have. Of course, we understand that intentions are always the starting point in life. So I see intentions as the creation point for our lives. Everything that happens begins with intention. They're like seeds. Your intentions contain all of the energy to grow, just as a seed contains the energy to become a plant or to become an annual or, you know, to become an everlasting tree. Yeah. This course, Writing Intentions Using the Natural Energy of the Tao, is a profoundly simple concept. So it connects the natural energy of the Tao to a balanced intending and goal setting process. Yeah, let's dream about what we want in 2023. In this course, you'll learn a simple, practical intention process that will help you create happiness. It's a simple, guided way for writing intentions using the perfection, the creative energy of the Tao. Wow. At the end of this course, Writing Intentions Using the Natural Energy of the Tao, you will have written 2 or 3 intentions actually in our hour that we are together. I'm going to give you a beautiful handout that's going to teach you how to write an intention for each of the 9 natural energies. Yeah, 2023, here we come.
So Tom, your workshop is at 1 p.m. GMT on the first day, very early on in the summit, and it looks quite exciting. Can you tell us about it, please?
Well, interestingly, it links in with so many other sessions, as you might expect. But basically, I'm a great believer in not so much planning, but setting up the conditions where the most perfect plan for your life and your world can arrive for you. So you plan to allow it to come in. And ages ago, I got introduced to a set of goal setting techniques. You probably heard of SMART goals, which anyone's doing up here. I got introduced by a shamanka to learning-based goals. And learning-based goals are open-ended. But what happens with them is that they kind of tie in with your karmic path and allow your karmic path to be shown to you. And you end up living a life which is wilder than your wildest dreams. And what happens with learning-based goals is, let's say you set one for a month ahead, or 3 months ahead, or 6 months ahead. Well, I'll take people through the procedure in the workshop. Your 3-month goals tend to arrive after a month, and your 6-month goals tend to arrive after 3 months. Everything sort of compacts because you're open. And obviously, we're using mindfulness techniques to keep a quiet mind during our waking days, to encourage those serendipities and synchronicities to come into our lives, more specifically for us to notice them without having a busy mind. So I'll lead people through a mind calming technique called the quantum collapse of thought, which is a fantastic thing to do. So it's going to be a mix of interactive exercises. So people will need pen and papers and this sort of stuff. I'll have a set of templates as a PDF for people to take away as well. And there'll be some meditation as well, to take people into a place where their wildest dreams can be surpassed. And the thing is, if you set goals, SMART goals, you can limit yourself by what you can imagine. So these goals are wilder than your wildest imagination.
Well, that sounds very exciting, and I love the idea of creating the conditions and just aligning yourself and your life with the things that you will achieve or manifest anyway.
Absolutely. And like you, I'm a great fan of the tarot as well. The tarot is a set of keys that we can use to instigate these things and bring them into our awareness and consciousness, which is great. So I guess what people need to know then, Kazahar, is where they can buy a ticket and where they can make this investment to come along at one of the 3 tiers.
Yeah, so wherever you're watching this, you will find the link. So if you're watching it on YouTube or on social media, us teachers will all be sharing this in different ways. The person who shared it will also have shared a link to enroll. And all you have to do is click on that link, choose which tier that you'd like to pay, and that's it, you've signed up. We'll be sending out joining instructions in the few days before the summit starts, and also you'll have all the PDFs in time for the sessions. So I'm really looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to working with these wonderful teachers, and I'm really looking forward to sharing time and space and practice with all the participants that will be with us. So I hope to see you there.
Fantastic. Looking forward to it too. Thanks again. Thanks to Wenlin for coming up with the genius of this idea to make it all happen.